And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
I think the folks who made Shenanigans missed a marketing opportunity because they could have used this game and basically marketed it as Lucky Charms, the game. That's not really what it is per se, but it does have to do with rainbows, and it does have to do with collecting different charms, and it does have to do with leprechauns, and it just seems like that would work. You know, as you look at them like, oh yeah, that marshmallow. Well, there's more to it than that. Shenanigans is a two-player game. Apparently there's going to be an expansion to allow you to play it with more. But basically you're just trying to collect a set of colors, and you do so by playing cards. There is some strategy to the game, but there is a lot of luck in it that, to me, the game is merely okay. My daughter liked it more than I did, and it was fun to play back and forth. I did not dislike playing the game, but it's just not my kind of style of game. But let me show you how it works. The goal of the game, as I said, is to get 7 different colors in your hand. The 7 colors of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, dark blue, and purple. Although you can use a wild card to take any of those cards' place. Now, the distribution of these cards is quite a bit different. The red cards, there's 14 of those. There's 12 orange, 11 yellow, 10 green, 8 cyan, 6 blue, and 4 violet. So you can see that getting a violet card is much more valuable. Players are going to start with 5 of these cards in their hands, which are randomly drawn from a deck. They then, on their turn, they're going to draw 1 card, and then they have to play 1 card. Now you might be thinking, well, if you draw 1, play 1, you're always going to end up with 5 cards in your hand, but that's not necessarily true. Many of the cards that you're playing will let you take extra cards. And see, if you notice, on each of these cards, let's take a closer look at the yellow card here. On each card there's 2 symbols. There's this upper symbol, which is a special action. It's also in the middle of the card, and it also has a name here. These are taters. And then there's another symbol underneath that. That symbol is a symbol of the color. So colorblind people can play the game. They're just trying to collect the symbols. And there's a reference card that shows you the different symbols and colors you need to get, and then that tells you what each of the special abilities do. For example, the tater card lets you go into the discard pile and draw any card you want. The hat card is a card you play when someone is trying to attack you. It's basically a defensive card because, for example, this king card will let you look into someone else's hand and steal a card. Bucket cards, like this red one here, will allow you to draw an extra card from the deck. Lucky buckets lets you draw 2 extra cards from the deck. This card lets you steal a card from another player. The well card lets you draw 4 cards from the deck, keeping 2 and getting rid of 2. Interestingly enough, and I think this is a good feature of the game, the more powerful the special cards are, the more rare the color is. For example, the umbrella card, which lets you discard cards and draw new cards, that's a pretty powerful card from your hand, but it's a purple card, and so you're not going to play it quite as much. Or other cards, like this note card, the one that lets you skip another player's turn, again, that's blue. Or the pot of gold, where you discard all cards, and then you go through the draw deck and pick 5 cards of your choice. Knowing which card to play and when is a big deal. When do you play the red cards? When do you play the orange and yellow cards? That is a feature of the game. But basically, you're trying to get 7 of the different colors in your hand. Once you do that, you take that, show them to the other player, say Shenanigans, place it as a pile to the side, draw some more cards, and continue playing. The first person to get Shenanigans twice is the winner of the game. Now, if players, for some reason, manage to go through all the cards of the deck, at that point, all the cards from these Shenanigan piles, except for a red card each, are put back in the deck. Because you're going to run out of those purple cards, they're going to be eventually brought in the other person's hand. And so the first person, I said 2 times, it's 3. The first person to call Shenanigans 3 times is the winner of the game. Games take about 20 minutes. How fun is the game? Well, I mean, the different color cards with the symbols are neat. It's not, I mean, the symbols don't really tell you what to do, but these double-sided cards, you can easily look at them and see which one to do. Play. You know, there's obviously luck of the game. If I draw 3 purples, I have a huge advantage on the other person, and I could even try to hold on to those. You have a hand limit of 9 cards, which keeps that in check somewhat. Although one of the special abilities allows you, the vest allows you to increase your hand size to a much larger size, 12 cards. And again, you can keep valuable cards in your hand just to keep your opponent from playing them. But it's not so hard to collect cards. You're just trying to match and get the different colors. Once you do so, you got a set. The first set's pretty easy. Second set's easy. It's that third set that seems to be harder, mostly because the card's been pulled out. But once they're put back in, the game comes to a conclusion. I can't say after I've won a game of Shenanigans that I beat you, I played better than you. Yes, there's some better choices you can make during the game itself, but basically it's just about playing a card, trying to get as many different colors in your hand, and forming sets. It's fun, it's harmless, the theme is nice, I like the colors, my daughter thought it was fun, but for the most part, it's it has too little strategy to please me.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.